All right, we're live.
Oh, we're
What's
live.
good?
How's it going?
What's new, everybody? We're doing a earlier stream this week.
Yeah, today instead of tomorrow.
Yeah. Been a pretty crazy week, hasn't it?
Oh, you could probably back
Fuck,
up a little.
last couple days.
Back up a little bit from your mic.
Oh yeah. You're
Yeah,
right.
I kind of blew it out. Sorry for your ears.
Yeah. Sorry, headphone users.
Turned
Well-
up the mics a little bit just so we can kind of sit back from them.
Yeah, so we don't have to be all up on it. You might hear the dog in the background. He's eating.
He's got a little spinny thing.
Yeah, he has like a puzzle feeder, like a drum, like a little drum with holes in it, and he can spin it and food will fall out. He likes it. Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy week.
A little
Crazy
bit.
couple days.
It's been a spicy week.
It's very spicy. I mean,
Muy caliente.
yeah, Israel's bombing Iran, possibly Iraq. I'm gonna bump that down.
Yeah, you're
just-
good. Yeah, I was kind of blowing it out a little bit.
Yeah, I was getting a lot of feedback too, and I feel like I can hear him.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
that's all right.
Yeah, Israel is bombing Iran, possibly Iraq.
Yeah,
U.S. Central Command claims that they had nothing to do with it.
why would did they just outright like they're just like, oh hey, we don't.
Well, it
have
wasn't
anything to
us.
do
We
with
didn't do
this.
it.
We
Yeah.
didn't do it.
I think I have it here somewhere.
So now I have questions.
Oh, yeah, it's right here. I'll just show it right now. We did not strike Iraq today. This was not yesterday, but yesterday. We are aware of reports claiming that the United States conducted airstrikes in Iraq today. Those were not true. I mean, is it possible it wasn't true? Yeah.
It's possible.
I think if they didn't do it directly, they had some sort of hand in planning or whatever.
Well, the fact that they had what 12 B2s take off. As
Yeah,
a show of force. Why were
Yeah.
you showing force?
that's normal though.
Yeah,
For the most part, it's pretty normal when stuff like
stuff like this is going on.
yeah, like when the whole thing kicked off and they sent like 3 fleets of naval vessels out there.
Yeah.
That was all show of force, especially the Gerald R. Ford.
Right. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he's loud.
Did you see that when it like flung
They're
it
flung
everywhere?
way over here. This like doing this, saying this, now makes me have questions.
Oh yeah, I have definitely more questions than answers for sure.
Because now I'm like, maybe you actually did.
Yeah,
Maybe you actually.
have you seen the? Oh, excuse me. Have you seen the GIF of Bart Simpson? He's sitting in a car and he's saying, "What an odd thing to say."
No.
That's what this is.
Yeah,
right
it
here.
is. What a weird thing to say.
What an odd thing to say.
The thing is so loud.
It is pretty loud. It keeps him busy though,
Yeah.
and stimulates his brain and stuff. He likes it.
Right.
It gets him pretty excited. Yeah, I think this is. It's like when. It's kind of like when somebody's like, "Oh, I'm not an FBI agent." Well, that sounds like something an FBI agent would say.
Right.
There's like the same kind of deal.
Yeah, that sounds like a Fed would say.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's strange. It's just a weird thing to come out and out of nowhere.
right. This is the actual strike right here.
يا علي مال شو اسمه
مال مسير
مال المسير يا علي
خرب
يا علي
That was loud.
يا
That
علي
was really loud.
يا علي
راح تجي
يا علي دخيلك
تجي شرارة
What the hell?
واسع واسع واسع
You're probably playing
واسع
the audio from the video.
واقف واقف عبد مال شو اسمه
مال مسير
مال المسير يا علي
خرب
يا علي يا علي يا علي
راح تجي
يا علي دخيلك
تجي شرارة
انزين، واسع واسع واسع
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
That is crazy.
واقف
This is at a
مال مسير
مال المسير.
military base
يا
in
علي.
Iraq, the Popular Mobilization Force, or PMF.
Yeah.
8 were killed, 3 were wounded. What does that have to do with it? Wow, that is loud.
Yeah, it is.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so if you can hear that, apologies for the dog.
Yeah. It's just us this weekend. My wife is hanging out with some of her friends. Let's see, what else do we got?
It's just me and you.
Yeah.
No Caleb either.
No Caleb. He
No,
might be
no Caleb.
watching.
Yeah, he's probably watching. He might be.
I'm
Unless
sure
he's
I'm
working.
sure most people have been caught up on a lot of the guy that burned himself alive in New York City yesterday.
It's a great way of protesting.
I don't
it's not.
I don't agree with
I don't.
that.
I don't
Yeah.
recommend it.
No. I can't really think of any good reason to do something like that.
Mm-mm.
And the crazy thing is we've had 2 of them within like the span of a few months.
Yeah. I don't remember. Was the last one? I wonder if he had the same viewpoints as this guy.
Oh yeah, he was definitely
He was a commie,
He was a
right?
commie. This guy was a commie too.
Okay, that's-
If anybody wasn't aware, this guy was a commie.
That makes sense.
He did pass away last night. He was in the hospital for several hours. And he did pass away. Excuse me. That's crazy, dude. I don't know if anybody hasn't heard about this or seen the video.
Oh, you don't have it pulled up on the screen.
Oh, I don't. This isn't the video, but he was just outside of the courthouse where Trump is on trial, and he threw some like a stack of pamphlets everywhere, which is his manifesto, explaining why he's doing this form of protest. Excuse me. And he doused himself in alcohol,
Rubbing alcohol.
rubbing alcohol, and lit himself on fire. It's pretty crazy if you haven't seen the video. It's damn.
Damn, dog.
It's pretty easy to find, I think. If you do wish to see it, I actually have it saved. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. He just like burned and burned and burned.
Yeah, it was crazy because like in the video he falls backwards on his back
Yeah.
and he's just laying there just on
Just,
fire.
yeah, on fire and convulsing, and yeah, that is insane.
Yeah.
I think there's like a couple pieces in there that never fall out. I gotta go get that.
Just go open it up for him.
Yeah, you have to. No matter how hard you try.
Right. Or else it'll just be all noise.
Now we can fuck with our feet and stuff again like last week. That was fun.
Yay.
That was so much fun.
Or it'd be
I wanna do
sweet
that
if he went back into the chair and just laid down.
Yeah, he might. I didn't. Oh, I should have brought that tether. That was pretty effective last time.
Yeah, it was. That's all right.
He's starting to chill out a bit more. He's still just a little puppy. Where did I put? Oh,
Oh, the phone.
yeah. So we do have his manifesto here. It's pretty long. We can kind of breeze through it. His name is Max Azzarello. He's from Florida.
Claims to be an investigative researcher.
He was. He some of his past employers.
Mm-hmm.
He worked for a few different firms, writing articles.
Yep.
I didn't really read any of them, but he's definitely pretty far right or far
No,
left. I'm
he's
sorry,
very,
that was
very, very far
definitely
left. Yeah.
misspeak there.
And
He was a commie. He was an anarcho-communist.
big supporter of Marx.
Yep.
You know, the mainstream media was trying to say that he was a Trump supporter.
Yeah, they were. They were. I have a picture of his car. I'll pull that up too. He had some anti-Trump stuff on his car, and then there's a website URL on there to this.
Right. And what his manifesto is about, there's a lot of truth in some of his beliefs.
Yeah, absolutely. He
like,
talked about cryptocurrency.
He
being a-
pinpoints the wrong people with crypto.
yeah.
The crypto is actually it
Well,
was created by the Communist Party.
he talks about in the beginning of this. He talks about a billionaire named Peter Thiel, who started the bank run on Silicon Valley Bank that collapsed last year and closed. He also claims that he was doing some investigating in cryptocurrency and the elite basically
Right.
controlling the whole thing to eventually collapse the economy and take control of everybody.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
he's not.
elite.
I mean, he's not wrong. This stuff is in plain sight. I mean, if you are awake to what's happening around you, this stuff shouldn't be new to you.
Here's the crazy thing, right? So he's not wrong with this, with crypto. Just take that example with crypto. He's not wrong with it. But what they want to use crypto for is to get everybody on the digital currency
Yeah, he talks about that too.
and to come forward with an all-out communist state.
Yeah,
That's what the global government. That's what they want.
yeah.
But he's
and
a
somehow
communist.
he's a communist. Yeah, I know. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. You can't have it both ways. You can't have. He's probably one of those things like, well, communism has never been done correctly.
Right, but
It's
he
never been implemented correctly.
outright admits that it's not being implemented correctly this time too.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I
impossible.
don't get how somebody can continue to support communism and then look at what is happening and be like, oh yeah, they're just not doing it right.
Right.
It never will be done.
It
right?
never will be. Because you have to take into consideration the aspects of people with power are always corrupt. They're always greedy,
Yeah,
and they always will be.
always.
And no matter what type of system you have, if you have a pure capitalism system, if you have a pure communism system, it will always be corrupt.
Yeah, right here he says The U.S. government is fully involved in this totalitarian con. To illustrate its bipartisan support, I'll note that nearly every participant in the Clinton Global Initiative has ties to cryptocurrency, while two of the biggest tech VCs who participated in Trump associate. Oh yeah, so
Well,
he's saying that everybody's pretty much connected to it.
Josh Kushner. Who the fuck is Josh Kushner?
Is he related to Adam Kushner?
That'd be Jared Kushner. That's
Jared.
Avant. Huh? Jared Kushner.
Jared or Jarek?
Jared.
Oh,
That's Ivanka Trump's husband.
okay. I'm not in the know on a lot of that.
Anthony Scaramucci. Oh, that makes sense. Anthony Scaramucci was used as a. So what Trump did with Anthony Scaramucci is he was used as kind of like bait to figure out who were rats within the administration.
Okay.
That's what Scaramucci was used for. It wasn't so. It was to figure out who would align with Trump's values versus who wouldn't. And Trump found out real quick that the majority of the people were not on his side. Even people in his own cabinet,
Right.
even his own vice president.
Right. He is just chilling on the chair.
A good
Oh,
dog.
here you go. As it turns out, we have a secret kleptocracy. Both parties are run by political or financial criminals whose only goals are to divide, deceive, and bleed us dry. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong, but that's why. But he tries. See, I know how you feel about Trump. You can't put Trump in that same boat. You just can't, because Trump was fighting against both parties. He did a lot of things wrong,
Right.
but he was also fighting against both parties.
That's true.
And they clearly do not want him
No,
to
they
fucking
don't.
run again.
That's it. That's why they're trying to keep him in court so that he can't
Right.
afford to run.
Now
It's gonna happen anyway. He's gonna be on the ballot no matter what.
right. Now he has done some things that I completely don't agree with, but at the same point, my life was better.
That's how every presidency is really. I mean, you
Right.
don't agree with everything
don't
that
agree with
somebody
everything.
does.
But I know for a fact my life was better under
Yeah.
Trump.
Yeah.
The economy was better.
Yeah, definitely.
Countries that were screwing over the United States were being held to account. We weren't just handing in billions and billions of dollars. Well, I mean, we still were, but
He also talks about
Not as
like The
bad.
Simpsons.
oh yeah,
predicting everything.
yeah, nice, yeah. That's called predictive programming.
Mm-hmm. He also has have it here. He has lawsuit out.
Lawsuit
the
versus Bill and
Clinton
Hillary.
Foundation.
Actually, this was a broad lawsuit. So what he did is filed a lawsuit on all of the people that he thought were involved with like conspiracy type stuff, which I get it. I mean, but if you scroll up, so he has Anthony Scaramucci in there, right? Do you see Donald Trump in there anywhere?
No. Mark Zuckerberg though.
Yep, Mark Zuckerberg, Brian Krass, Richard Branson, which Richard Branson also owns a private island, like much like Epstein.
Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yep, Sam Bankman-Fried, Mark Cuban, Ross Perot. Ross Perot's dead. First off.
And this was filed April 14th of last year.
Yeah, Ross Perot died like quite a while ago. Yeah, he has just run of the mill. That makes sense why this lawsuit got thrown out, though.
Right.
There's first off, even if you believed in what this guy was talking about, you're not gonna. That's the lawsuit. You're not gonna win.
Right. breeze through this a little more. Yeah, he's talking more about The Simpsons, Perfect Totalitarian Con,
Cryptocurrency's doomsday device.
yeah, Doomsday Device.
That's
Simpsons exist to brainwash us. It's not just The Simpsons, though. Honestly, it's like all of
That's
the
all media.
entertainment
all media.
entertainment industry.
Yep. All type of media. Social
Yeah.
media, entertainment media, news media, all of the media that is consumed on a daily basis. There's a lot of brainwashing going on.
Oh, absolutely, especially right now with it being an election year.
Right.
Reality TV. Liberals mock.
Oh, this dude just
hypocrisy,
hates everyone,
conservatives- Yeah,
man.
he does.
It's
He talked about how the climate change is all like in COVID, all of it's all like it's all part of
wait.
it.
And with all
A
this,
sharp
a
rise
sharp,
of apocalyptic messaging, climate change. So he's saying like
all
this,
the
like,
messaging,
yeah, all the fear mongering about AI, climate change is just like all brainwashing. Makes you into zombies.
You know, this actually kind of makes sense why he set himself on fire.
All this like obsessing over this stuff because it seems like he's just really obsessed over all of this.
Yeah,
It drove him insane.
yeah. It makes sense why he set himself on fire.
Yeah,
You can't go through life without some type of hope. You have to have some type of hope, even if it's hope something small, like
yeah,
you're holding on to gratitude from your family or from. You have to have some type of place of happiness.
yeah. This is just mental illness.
It's just mental
Yeah,
illness.
this is just mental illness.
Like I told you, I fully think that this dude was a meth addict.
He definitely looked like it, especially in that mugshot.
Yeah, I fully think that this dude was a meth addict, and I know for a fact because, well, I don't know for a fact that he was a meth addict, but I know what that stuff can do to you. Especially with like my older brother. I've said before on the podcast that my older brother's schizophrenic.
Yep.
That was meth induced.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My younger brother that is sadly no longer here, but he also got hooked on this stuff too. And it's something that
It was pretty bad in this area for quite a long time.
it's something that when you start, it's a drug where when you start taking it, that type of stuff would your paranoia, your
Yep.
all of that shit starts happening like that. So
Yeah, it's definitely no surprise that he did what he did. Even though like diving into the conspiracies and stuff, like yeah, he's not really wrong, but it drove him crazy. That's
yeah,
that's really all my comment on the whole thing.
the general theory behind, well, I don't know how to word that, the fundamental thing he was correct on.
Yeah.
Some of the areas where he was pointing his fingers is wrong.
Yeah, a lot of people are trying to say like he did it over the Trump trial. It had nothing really to do with that. I think what happened was he chose that location for visibility.
Yeah, and we're talking about it, so
Exactly.
media's talking about it.
Yeah.
It was all
for visibility. I think all the people who are saying, "Oh, why would he do this over the Trump trial?" and da da da. It
to
really
get
wasn't
people-
about that.
yeah, it was to get people to look at his manifesto. That's all it was.
Yeah,
Which
it was effective.
it was, yeah.
It was effective. That's, I mean,
It was effective. I don't recommend it though.
no, me neither. I don't. I can't
Unless
think of
you're
any.
unless you're a commie.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be
I
okay
mean,
with that.
that's acceptable. The other guy was too. So
Yeah.
nothing of real
ahead.
value was lost, really,
No,
in my opinion.
this is America, dude. The majority of people would be like, "Oh, communism? No, no, thank you.
No thanks.
No thanks."
That and pedophiles. We have some stuff about those people too. Might as well.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I brought that up, might as well just
Mm.
here you go. A 13-year-old girl was allegedly assaulted by her teacher in Marlboro Township in New Jersey. The school then reported on it, and or the school reportedly forced the student to go back to the classroom of the same teacher, and was continually harassed afterwards. And then the school's lawyer had attempted to blame the parents for the assault, and the teacher was then had resigned and then was given a large pension.
Dude, this shit is disgusting.
The amount of protection that this type of activity is insane. Speaking of which, I don't know if you know anything about. There's a guy on X. His name is Alex Rosen.
I've heard of
You've
that.
probably heard of him. He's got quite the following.
Mhm.
He exposes people. He goes into chat rooms and gets
Yeah.
and then he meets up with them, and then it's kind of respectable the way he's man to man with these people, and is like, hey, I want to know more about what you got going on here. Do you have
Right.
this? Do you have material on your phone? Like I don't even know. I don't know how to really word it, but he's man to man with them. He usually calls the police afterwards and turns them in, convinces them to turn themselves in too.
Yeah.
But anyways, he meets up with this guy. This was a couple days ago. Meets up with somebody, and I think it was Oklahoma. It was Oklahoma City, and he confronted the guy. The guy admitted to having material on his phone, and
Is that the one that we watched earlier? The video?
possibly he notified the police. The police came, put the individual in handcuffs, and then released him because they said that Alex was just doing the whole thing for likes.
Oh, they released him.
They released him. So then Alex went on here on X. We could probably find it, but he went on here and told everybody and was like throwing Oklahoma City Police Department under the bus and everything, rightfully so.
Yeah.
And they've later taken the evidence and stuff. They refused to take evidence, even though the guy admitted to having the evidence on his own phone and was willing to hand it over.
See, now, how does that not trigger an investigation on that police force?
Right.
Like, that's something that I'd be like, okay, yeah, let's
It took the
let's see what's
pressure.
going on.
It took the pressure of the internet for them to actually do something.
Nice.
Otherwise, they were just gonna let the guy go.
Mm.
I mean, that's our policing in the United States. So is this. So is this right here. This is a police officer from York City. He did some unspeakable things to a
This is where he locked himself in the bathroom.
yeah, he locked himself in the bathroom with a child while the mother was preparing dinner. And she reportedly had heard all the commotion and went to the bathroom, and it took him I understood 10 seconds or something like that to unlock the door. The infant, or not infant, she's
toddler.
13 months is what I read somewhere, so just over a year.
Bro.
Had two broken bones in her leg. And the daycare that she goes to had reported other injuries.
Dude, honestly, it makes me tear up because that's fucking
It's heartbreaking.
yeah.
It really is. And he's being held on a $200,000 bond. And here's the fucked up thing. He blamed the whole thing on a dog. Actually, that's not even the most fucked. The most fucked up thing is that he did what he did to some.
Yeah, that's the that's.
I mean, that's the most fucked up thing. But
right.
he blamed it on a dog, and then the here's the thing: if a dog did anything to a child, they'd put the dog down. Why is this guy allowed to draw breath?
Yeah, he needs to be put down. He needs to. Yeah.
This is somebody who's supposed to be protecting and serving a community.
Yeah.
This is an enormous problem in this country,
Look, I would be okay getting rid of the death penalty
in the whole world. Actually,
Uh,
this is a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem with the whole world. I'd be okay with getting rid of the death penalty for people that murder other adults. However, I would like to reinstate the death penalty for people that harm a child
Yeah.
like this.
Yes, I agree.
Now there would be a fine line with like the prosecution of that because with abuse, when you take into consideration physical abuse.
This is saying that went on to provide implausible explanations for several other injuries that the victim's body, including bruising. That bruising was caused by the family dog.
You know, I don't even want. Just people like this just deserve death.
Yeah,
That's the only thing that they deserve. And a child that age, at 13 months old, they're
he admitted to the bruises too. Troopers say the text messages later showed that he acknowledged the responsibility for the victim's bruising.
do you
The
do you know what kind of bruising that causes with a child like that? Have you ever seen people where they talk about like the panda eyes?
I have heard that before. Yeah.
It's kind of like it happens to kids like when there used to be no safeties on garage doors. When you get crushed by something heavy and they get rescued and then their eyes get like bulged out because their body, like all that trauma, all the bruising happens. Uh, but
It's fucked up, dude.
it happens a lot with children that are abused this way.
I'm telling you,
That
dude.
shit just, yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking rough, dude. And that. Like I said earlier, this is somebody who's supposed to be protecting and serving a community, and this is what he does with his free time.
And it was his child.
I don't believe so.
Oh,
I think it's his
Estella. I mean, yeah.
significant other's
So
child.
it's a stepchild.
Yeah. If he's married, I don't really know. Don't really care. He should be in the ground.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, but I mean, I have 2 children. And
Yeah.
That's something that,
It resonates.
yeah,
It's a big deal.
yeah.
I
If,
mean,
if somebody was to harm my child like that, dude, I would seriously fucking blood eagle them. I would. I
Yeah.
would show
there are no limits to what.
kind of violence.
Yeah,
yeah.
there are no
there'd be
limits.
no limits to the amount
No.
of violence that come from that.
And there's nothing that you could do that would be unjustified.
Yeah.
It's all in my opinion, should
Yeah,
be,
it'd
it
be
should
all
be fair
justified. You're
game.
like, man, well,
Just
that
saying.
person kind of deserved that.
Just saying that's yeah. Children are off limits.
Oh, he's a
Leave the
pink.
children alone.
What's
You
this?
can't explain that any other way. Leave the children alone.
Leave the children alone. What's this pink sludge in this wood chipper? What the hell is this? Oh, don't worry about that.
No, I wouldn't worry about that. I guess to kind of lighten the mood a little bit, I have kind of a funny story.
And you said this was sent to you by your wife?
Yeah, my wife sent me this article.
Yeah.
Because a few months ago, she was hanging like plant hangers from like the side of a window. They like hinge to the side so you can like have them in front of the window or like away from the window.
Yeah.
And she's up there hanging them, and we have these like collapsible like stools so you can just like get something up in the top shelf of the cabinet, or it's just like a tiny little 2-step fold it out. There's a picture here.
Yeah, for short people. They can't read.
Yeah, exactly. And they're kind of handy. You just collapse them up, throw them in the cabinet.
I know
or
a few
whatever.
short people that this would be handy for.
Exactly. Including myself. I'm short.
Right.
Anyways, so if you didn't read the title, this CPSC warns customers or consumers to immediately stop using top fun folding stools. This is the exact stool I have. So she was on this stool
On this
with a
stool,
drill. I mean, she shouldn't have been using it as a. That's neither here nor there. She fell off of it and like it hurt her shin, like gouged out her fucking shin. She has
Yeah.
a scar on it now.
Still there.
It's like I have one on my shin from a bicycle pedal. I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah, there you go.
every child from the 90s had one.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Get just taking the steel fucking yeah, the pain.
Oh, the pain.
Anyway, so she fell off of one of these and hurt her shin on it. But to be fair, she was on carpet with a drill, like not being safe to begin with.
Huh.
I thought that was kind of funny. And she's fine. She didn't really hurt herself, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's people who have like actually really injured themselves on these if they're claiming it's so bad to immediately stop using them.
Wow.
To be fair, like I've used it to like change light bulbs, and if you're not standing like with your feet together in the center of this thing, like if you're like either like to the side
Does it
at all,
tip over?
I've had it like kind of wobble, and you're like, oh shit, that was close. I almost fell.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I've almost fallen on this stool several times, but it's not like I'm not making.
All right, so
I'm
if-
not making a big deal about it, but I mean, you could get fucking really hurt.
Yeah. So if you bought this stool off of Amazon, just,
I'd be at least careful.
yeah, just pay attention to what
Yeah.
you're doing.
I mean, how many have you ever used a 5-gallon bucket as a stool? Who hasn't, honestly?
I've used a 5
or
gallon
a
bucket
milk
for.
crate,
I've used a 5-gallon bucket for many things.
shitting in
Shitting in,
Yeah.
stool,
stool.
a
I've
seat.
standed on a bucket like with that. Like most people would flip it upside down and stand on the bottom.
You stood
No,
on the
I've
rim.
stood on the rim.
I've done that.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know who hasn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about the stool that much. If you
No.
can stand on a bucket, you can stand on this stool. Anybody who stood on a bucket has done the little
Or
ooh,
the-
ooh, whoa, that was close.
Like you were saying, the milk crate, and then your fucking foot goes right through the middle.
Goes through
of
the
it.
bottom, yeah. Yeah, that's why you have to stand the edges on
You
the
have to
edges.
stand on the edges. Yeah.
I've stood on the rim of those too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's doable.
They're pretty solid though.
But I guess use whatever precaution that you would use to stand on a bucket on this stool. I thought that was kind of funny to share though.
Or just be taller.
Or be taller or whatever. Get a medieval stretching table or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
just get a stretching table. There you go.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
I forgot about this one. What do you
Some
think
of
about
those,
this?
some of those reptilians, man.
Yeah. What is this? What is her name? I can't think of her name. She's a talking head on Fox
I-
News. I can't think of her fucking name
I
off the
don't
top of my
even know.
Here you go. Look at this though. Excuse me?
What is that?
That's got to be edited. No way.
No, dude, it's on the live TV. It's Vizio TV.
Is it like a filter?
No,
Nah.
well, okay,
I just
there's-
have a hard time believing that's legit. That's weird as shit, though.
if it's legit, that's weird as hell.
Yeah.
However, my question is this person is already recording this, like they're expecting it to happen.
Right. Right.
Why do you?
Why
have
were
it-
you pre-recording it?
Why were you recording it from your phone
Yeah.
or whatever thing you're recording with?
They were talking about Boeing. I didn't pull anything up explicitly about that, but the whistleblower the other day, they had that. It was a hearing, right? Something like that.
Yep.
They had a hearing, and they
Whistleblower.
said they're just pumping out airplanes that are not safe.
Yeah, they're just pumping them out. They know that they know of all the safety issues, but
Yep.
they're shipping them out.
Not
making them
to
anyways.
not to change subjects so quickly, but yeah, what do you think about this reptilian eye thing? It's weird.
I have an open mind. And like my mind's
Right,
always
yeah,
my
same,
mind
yeah.
is always open to everything. Do I think that there are shapeshifter type reptilians within I can't hear it. Oh, barely.
Is that
Oh no, that's in our
okay?
headphones.
I was thinking it was coming from somewhere else.
Same. Do I think there's like a reptilian shapeshifter that are in powerful positions and in media and
I think
stuff
it's
like
possible.
I
don't know if I'd full on say that there is.
Yeah, I can't
That's
say
my
it with
opinion
100%
anyway. Yeah.
certainty,
I think it's possible.
but do I think that there are I don't know if I would call them reptilian. I would say there are some type of spiritual entities that have overtaken bodies that lean on the evil side.
That aligns pretty well with what Tucker Carlson was saying
Yeah.
on Joe Rogan's podcast
Oh, okay.
the other day. I had it saved on Twitter, but I didn't pull it up. But yeah, he was on Joe Rogan. He pretty much said the same thing that
That is
the UFOs are not UFOs. It's a spiritual
entity type thing.
spiritual entity.
And you have lower and higher frequencies, so it goes back to the frequencies, but you have being entities that are more demonic, that lean more towards the evil side, all the way up to, and you have some entities that are in the middle that are just what the ancients used to call the Igigi, or the Watchers.
Okay, yep. I've heard
And the Watchers are just there to
watch.
watch. You have, and then you have the higher ones, which they call, what do they call those? The ones that have like the white hair. They're like the Nords. Is that what they're called?
I guess I don't know.
I don't know. But you have higher level entities that are more of an angelic, that are here for good. But you have the
Oh
whole,
yeah, we've
the
talked
whole,
about that.
the whole range.
I mean, I don't know if I really believe it, but if it's legit, I'm open to it, you know, like
I don't know.
I don't know, I don't have any proof.
No. I think that there's some type of spiritual entity that are overtaking some of these people.
I definitely believe it's possible. I don't yeah, like I said, I don't know if I can really commit to it.
Especially if I can't remember the dude's name, but he was a pastor or a preacher or whatever of one of those mega churches, not Joel
Yeah.
Osteen, but this other
One
guy.
of those other ones, yeah.
He's an older guy, and somebody was questioning him about how he has his own private jet and blah 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 and stuff like that. And dude, you could see the demonic look on his face,
I know which one. I know which guy you're talking about. I've seen that.
where he's like, "What?"
Yeah. I can't think of his name, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
You could see the demonic something
Yeah.
is overtaking him. And those mega churches are they're corrupt.
They are.
I mean, even a lot of lower level churches, they're corrupt.
They are. That's also true. Corruption.
That is why I'm a Christian, but I don't go to a church. because my relationship is personal. I don't have to go with other people to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go here because
Yeah,
other people are going here.
that's where the brainwashing is.
You have to have a personal relationship. You don't have to go to church. And then you have church going Christians who'll be like, oh, if you don't go to church, you're going to hell. And that's why people are like, oh no, I'm just an atheist because
Those are the people that use religion as a control method.
right, correct. Yeah. But all right. Yeah, we got sidetracked.
That's okay though. Yeah, I mean those mega churches. A lot of churches are really corrupt.
Yeah. they are.
Corruption is just really everywhere.
It's rampant and everything.
Yeah,
Politics,
Inclu-
religion,
United
Schools.
States government,
government.
the Senate,
Oh
who voted on the bill and it
I
passed.
can't believe this passed.
I mean I can believe it.
Were there any Republicans in the Senate that voted for this? Like Marco Rubio? Marco Rubio probably would.
Mike Johnson.
Oh, that's in the
This
House.
is the one we talked. Oh yeah, you're right. This is the bill we talked about last week. That
It tied in the House and then
tied in the
Mike
House,
Johnson
it passed the
was
Senate. So next step is it goes over the president's desk.
right. The deciding factor in the House was it was a tie vote. The deciding factor in the House was the Speaker of the House, which was Mark Johnson, which claims to be, supposed to be on the right. Like when he was getting approved for the Speaker of the House, they were saying that he was too far right.
Yeah. They spent all that time looking for a fucking speaker just to 3-4 months later be like, he's got to go.
Yeah, he's got to go. I mean, I agree. He's
Yeah,
got to go.
I also agree, but it's like, are you serious right now?
But fucking, if you're gonna take him out, then you need to put somebody in there that actually holds the fundamental values of
Nobody does.
the citizenry.
Yeah, but nobody does. None of these clowns do.
None of them.
I don't even know why we're playing this game anymore.
Yeah.
Honestly.
What we need to do we need to make sure that voting actually works, and then on top of that, we need to completely do away with the political parties.
Yeah.
Political parties are a joke.
Yeah.
You should never have to vote for a team. You should be voting for. You should have to have the knowledge, because knowledge is power. You should have to have the knowledge of what this person represents and what they believe, and you vote on that.
They should do more debates.
More debates.
And they should do them disguised or like they should do it. Have you ever seen that show I think it's called The Voice? Is it The Voice? Is it the one where like celebrities wear like this like outrageous costume and they go and sing and then the judges need to like
I've never watched
they have
that,
to
but I know
guess
what you're
who
talking
the-
about.
who's
It's not
in the
It's
costume.
not The Voice. It's something else.
Yeah, it's something else. I can't remember what that. I don't watch shit like that, but that's how elections should be. I think it'd get people more interested in it and actually
Maybe
make sound
it like
decisions.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Make them wear like costumes and then they go up there and they debate each other. So you don't know who's who,
Right.
but you're hearing what they have to say, like their plans or the way they debate, how they hold themselves, all those things. And you can so you get some sort of entertainment out of it. I guess debates are pretty entertaining anyways now because
Yeah.
it's
It
it's
depends
an
on-
absolute fuck fest and it's hilarious to watch. Also frustrating.
Yeah, sometimes it's. Dude, I can't watch a Democrat debate.
No. I
That
don't
shit's annoying
I can't
as
watch it really even anymore.
But
They're not I mean
I
we're
don't
not
know.
even going to really have regular debates. The last election Biden and Trump didn't debate each other like they're supposed to.
Right.
They're not going to this time either.
Right. Well, because even like the when Tulsi Gabbard was up there debating. I
Oh yeah.
actually like, even though she's a former clown, I actually don't mind her, but a she's still a player in the game,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
I mean, that's how I feel about Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, here's your Marco Rubio.
Uh,
Top Republican on the Senate Intelligence Committee said you may miss a plot to harm the country here, domestically or somewhere else. I mean, their whole intentions,
so he
Here-
might have actually voted against it.
maybe.
There's real life implications here. Yeah, it sounds like he might have voted against it. Which there should be nobody should have voted for it.
Yeah, it opens doors. I mean, the whole purpose is to be able to investigate, like,
Without a warrant.
yeah, without a
You can
warrant.
spy
That's the
on
bit.
people
Yeah,
without a
spy on
warrant.
people without a warrant. But their targets, according to them, are terrorists and
Yeah.
cartel and blah blah blah. But
Here's,
I mean,
but
how-
who do
how-
they classify as terrorists now?
right, half the nation.
Half the fucking nation.
Yeah,
If you believe in the Second Amendment, guess what? Guess what?
there you go. That answers that question for you. They want to spy on you. That's what this is all about.
Yeah.
This should have never passed. It's going to become law, and
And they also want to spy on Trump.
yep, and they want to spy on Trump. This election year, they need all they can against him and against anybody who votes for a
Well,
Republican.
See, my question is I know how you feel about Trump, but why are they so afraid of losing?
Honestly, I don't really know, because I don't really think that anything Trump would do would have any sort of impact at the
I
end of the
know.
day. Like, I don't think,
But why be so afraid then?
I don't know. I think it's, in my personal opinion, I think it's all a game. They're just playing a game with the population, because it gets people, it divides people, it keeps people's attention, it drives people crazy.
Right. But you can tell that these guys are like legitimately afraid. Even when George Bush Senior passed away, and all of those people got the little note that they were looking at. Do you remember that at the funeral?
It kind of rings a bell a little bit.
Where they all had the little note and they were like, "Oh shit."
What was on it?
The theory is it says like something like, we like basically like we have everything, or we know everything.
Okay.
Like it was given to them to say, "Hey, you're fucked." Because even George H.W. took it to his mom, or is it Barbara Bush? Who's his mom? I don't
I'm
know.
not
Sorry.
sure.
He took it to his mom, and like if you can read their lips, and she's like, "Is this true?" Like if you look at her mouth, like she said something like that. But
Huh.
I
Interesting.
don't know. It's interesting. But
Oh, here you go. These are the other people they want to use that against.
why?
People who went to the Capitol on January 6th. I thought they did all the investigation they needed. They locked people up that didn't even go there. The whole thing is
Yeah, the whole
just-
thing is that whole thing is a fucking joke.
Oh, what's this? Not to derail too much, but Catholic priest resigns from Michigan church following protest over his criticism of gay author. So what?
Wait, hold on. Go back
So
up.
what? Who cares if he's
He was fired over his criticism for a gay author,
apparently
or he
What-
resigned.
he resigned.
I don't
He's allowed to have an opinion.
know if
Bottom line, he's allowed to have an opinion, and you boot him out of his job for having an opinion.
this is where this is what I mean by this. churches have been corrupted with evil spirits.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if people know, but it is a sin to have sexual relationships between a man and a woman and a woman. Like, that's considered a sin.
Right.
I mean, so is masturbation.
Right.
So, but it would be, it's okay to have an opinion against that. I mean, like if, I
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I mean, that shit doesn't affect my life. So,
Right.
I'm not going to judge you for it. But at the same time, in my personal view, I believe it as wrong because it's
Oh.
weird. It's weird to me.
I miss this part right here. This is what it was about. It was because the author had read a book to preschool children.
Uh,
And it probably wasn't even really necessary about the author themselves. It was probably the contents of the book.
Probably the contents of the book and probably how the author probably dressed. They like
Yeah,
to do.
yeah. Yeah, it was probably.
They like
Yep,
to do very, very provocative things when they read to children.
that is true. Yeah, they were reading to children. It was probably the context of what's in the book, and you're probably right with the way they were dressed.
So yeah, I mean, it's shit that children shouldn't be hearing about.
No, just leave the children alone. It's like, do we have the other one here? Since we're on that subject.
Kids should not be hypersexualized in any way, or even.
Just leave them alone. Oh, I thought I had it.
Oh, the other video.
No, it wasn't a video. It was there's a school in Michigan, DeWitt, Michigan.
Oh, DeWitt, Michigan. Yeah.
They canceled a gender class, or
Yeah, gender
they had
class.
they had a whole like gender class thing that they were gonna do, and they canceled it because of backlash in the community.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
And
honestly,
it goes to show.
don't teach the children that bullshit.
Look, it goes to show that parents that are going to board meetings for the education board meetings for the schools, that shit's working.
It is working.
Keep it up.
Exactly.
keep
More
going.
of that. More of that. Just leave children alone.
Yep.
If for whatever reason that in their life they take that path,
Yeah, that's
then
their choice.
that's the way it is. But leave the children alone. And the class was in a first grade classroom, from what I understood.
Why are you reading?
First grade? Are you serious right now? Oh, I also speaking of which, with the way they don't leave children alone. You know the show Bluey? Oh, it's like a little dog.
Oh, like
it's
Blue
a
Clue?
cartoon. No, it's not Blue's Clues. It's it's the show's called Bluey. It's from Australia.
Oh, okay.
And for a good while, it got really popular in the U.S. Because the show had like absolutely no politics in it. It's like
Oh, okay.
it's a little kids show, like little kids
Little,
show, like Coco Melon kind of.
Okay. Coco Melon.
Yeah, but it's like less retarded.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Coco Melon is like fucking like brain rot cartoon.
Yeah.
Bluey's more. It's like educational, and it's like it's a pretty good. It's good kids show.
Right.
However, they have their first queer character in the show now.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And they cracked to the pressure, and they're part of the cult now.
Yeah. Makes sense. You get popular and then you start.
Yeah,
pressure
yeah, you
for
gotta
something like
cave
that.
to the. Just don't cave.
You know,
If you don't support that bullshit, then don't support it. Don't cave to it, and they twisted my arm. No.
yeah, but I mean, especially over this year, it kind of shows the things what they will cave to when they want fame and power. Especially with the whole Diddy situation.
Right. Uh-oh.
Listen, my son
Oh,
This is my son.
yeah. I don't think I have that one like I thought I did. Was it school?
I should probably text him.
Okay.
Or else he's gonna blow up my phone like crazy.
Is he?
Yeah.
I guess while we're on the topic of Michigan from that last one, um, this popped up on my X feed yesterday. A militia has been created in Michigan whose purpose is to preserve the Second Amendment. The Holton Township Board passed a resolution that primarily did two things. Firstly, it declared the township to be a Second Amendment sanctuary community where unconstitutional laws controlling firearms will not be recognized. Pretty based, honestly. Secondly, Holton Township created an enforcement mechanism for this resolution in the form of voluntary community militia, whose purpose is to preserve the constitutional right to keep and bear arms. Also based.
That's pretty awesome. So it is a township that
It
created
is a
this.
township, yeah.
Wow.
My concern, though, is the likelihood of feds being embedded in this militia
Yeah, that'll happen.
is
It happened
pretty
with-
high. It's happened before,
I
and
mean, it's happened with Michigan militia.
we talked about the plot to kidnap the governor last week. That's basically how that happened. Hopefully it doesn't, but I think it's pretty likely.
Yeah, it'll happen. It'll be infiltrated by Fed.
Yeah, and they'll
It always
likely
does.
be honeypotted
Yeah.
or attempted. Oh, here you go. When I read this title earlier, Nate
Sounds very explosive.
hysterically laughed at
Yeah, I did.
or laughed about it. Grenade donated to thrift store prompts evacuation in Lamida. So a live hand grenade was found in a donation bin or like a box, I guess, of like donated items. The pin was intact and everything. It was a live hand grenade, apparently. Bomb squad arrived. They were given the all clear and everything, but that's crazy. What's this video? In the video, I wonder.
Life is full of surprises, but with our tuition guarantee, you don't get any.
Wow.
Fixed,
Someone
affordable.
With the ads, please. Here we go. There's no sound. Well, looks like they had the whole building like roped off and makes sense. Bomb squad arrived. Yeah, this video doesn't have any sound. That's crazy, dude.
That is crazy.
This is in Los Angeles, I believe. Lamida. Thrift store in Lamida. I think it's like near Los Angeles.
Could you imagine
Yeah,
if
Los Angeles police.
bro, could you imagine if they accidentally put that out for sale because they thought it was like a prop,
Yeah.
and then you go and buy it and you're like,
Yeah, and then
And you
someone's like,
don't
oh,
know
check
it's-
out this.
and you pull the pin, you're like, oh, it's fake.
Right. Because you can buy those.
Yeah, you can buy fake
I used to
ones.
have one. Well, they're not fake. They're real
They're
hand grenades.
decommissioned.
They just have the bottom drilled out of them.
Yeah. They're just for decoration. They're not for.
Yeah, they don't. They're inert. You can't do anything with them. I have my things all jumbled up here. Oh, here's
Yeah, that's all right.
here's an interesting one.
Oh, the bridge. We
yeah,
talked
the
about the bridge last time. too.
Francis Scott Key Bridge, the one that the ship crashed into and collapsed.
Yeah.
The FBI is launching a criminal investigation over the whole ordeal. I'm sure within the first few days, I know I was saying something. A lot of people said it looked like it was intentional,
Mm-hmm.
and were immediately called crazy conspiracy theorists about
Yeah.
it.
Ooh, so crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what I'm sure, like most cases, the FBI will do an investigation and later say, "Oh, we didn't really find anything," because they were actually the ones involved.
I actually don't know if it was I don't. I actually don't think it was the FBI.
I think it's more possible that
I
it
think
was
we were
China.
attacked by China. This is
Yeah.
all coming to China. We're at war with China. Nobody wants to fucking admit it, but we're at war.
I think you're right, honestly. Yeah, I mean, there was the threat earlier this week. They were talking about possible cyber attacks from China on infrastructure.
The whole infrastructure,
about,
the
like,
water,
well,
the
yep.
fucking electricity, everything.
Well, I mean,
The weather system.
the last couple weeks, actually, it's in 2 months, less than 2 months, 3 separate occasions has the radar systems across the United States gone down for several hours.
Yep.
The other day, 911 systems were down in several states for more than at least it went from one day to it bled into the next day, and they were saying like possibly some fiber cables were cut,
Oh yeah. Okay.
and
Yeah, sure.
it seems implausible to me, honestly, that it was supposedly like one fiber cable was cut that would affect a bunch of states, but they were like not consistently next to each other. They were like kind of
Yeah, I don't
for
buy
one
it.
cable to knock out like random spotted states like that. That doesn't line up for me. But
I don't buy it.
no, I think it was either intentionally shut down to build um what do you call it, like get people accustomed to, oh well, fucking 911's down again.
Hmm.
Same thing with the radar. Oh, did you hear radar system's down again?
Oh no, internet's been.
Oh yeah. Oh damn, internet's down.
Dude,
And then all of a sudden, oh holy shit, there's a tornado in my backyard, and I had no way to
fucking
know.
idea, yeah. Dude, I don't know if you've noticed this, but my cell phone has been acting up like crazy.
What do
My
you mean?
My service,
What do you mean?
like my cell phone service. I have Verizon, but my
Okay, I do
service
too.
has been acting up. Like it's been going out. Like
Well, there was an outage a couple months ago.
okay,
There was actually, I think, 2 of them.
it's just been
That's that's a good point. There was like 2 cell phone service down outages. There's been social media outages.
yeah. Facebook's been acting real fucking
Yep.
weird.
There's been weather radar outages, the 911 outages. I really think they're getting people used to seeing that there's going to be rolling power outages this year. There's no doubt
Right.
in my mind. There'll be rolling power outages, internet, probably all those things are going to go down repeatedly, and people are going to, oh well, I guess here we are. It's Thursday and the internet's out again. Holy shit! There's all this severe weather and no way for people to be informed.
Right. Yeah, I fully think that
That's what I think.
we're under
anyway.
attack by China. And now when I say China, I don't mean actually China, because China is controlled.
Right.
It's all a game.
It is a game.
China is controlled. And that control goes to the Lee family, which is kind of like what we would say the Rockefeller Rothschild family here. It's the Lee family. And that's who controls China, and that is controlled. The Lee family is controlled by the families that control the United States. They're all controlled the intelligence agencies. It's all a big fucking. All war is a racket.
Yes.
All war.
Yes.
It is for money and power.
Yes.
That's it. Money, power, and control.
The move signaled an escalating effort to seek accountability and determine what caused the crash that left 6 of the 8 men dead. Well, unfortunately, I don't think they're going to find anything. And if they actually do, they're not going to tell us. They'll just say, oh,
No,
yeah, we
they
didn't
won't.
find anything.
It's just weird how that bar it like turned or the cargo
It
ship
did.
it like turned into that pillar.
Directly into it.
Mm,
Yeah, and there was like people that were saying, um, from their own experience that even when power goes out on those ships, that there's a way to steer it.
Oh yeah, there's a
I
manual.
wouldn't even need somebody to tell me that. That just
No.
makes sense. Why wouldn't you have a way to steer?
There has to be some type of manual override.
Right.
But it's like that's a pretty common sense. That would be a pretty common sense thing. Like that'd be like having a self-driving car, right?
Yeah.
And not being able to manually take it over.
Right.
Like you wouldn't trust that.
No.
You'd be like, "No, I'm good.
No
I'm not
thanks.
driving
I'd
in that
pass, yeah.
self-driving car if I can't. At least if it messes up, I can't take control." That's stupid. But yeah,
That's, well, I guess we'll see. Or we won't.
I think they'll
Likely, they probably won't tell anybody anything.
yeah, I think they'll find something, but they won't say anything. It's one of those things where these three-letter agencies,
It's just to let.
They all
It's
work
just
for
so
the
that you
same.
feel better.
yeah, it's
They
just so you
say,
feel
"Oh, we're
better.
doing an investigation." You're like, "Oh, thank God, thank God, they're gonna look into it. Maybe they'll find something."
You know, these three-letter agencies all work for the
Mm-hmm.
same intel agencies. It's a big. It's
It's
just
also
a
a
cesspool
racket.
of fucking a racket. Yeah.
It's
Well,
also a racket.
Well, the FBI is actually illegal. It shouldn't have existed
no,
in
it
the
shouldn't.
first place. It was never ratified by the Senate or the
Nope.
House. Same with the IRS
And the ATF.
and the ATF. They were just
They're just like, "Boop, here you go."
here you go. This is what we're gonna do now.
Yep.
It was never voted on.
And then they somehow get to make the rules like they're lawmakers. That's not how it works, but that's how it works somehow.
Yeah, like the ATF, they can just make laws.
They just
without,
like, oh yeah, no, they make rules.
well,
They don't actually make
ru-
laws. They make
right.
rules.
They make rules, but then call them laws.
Yeah.
Like
Or
with the-
enforce them as laws.
Yeah, they
There's
enforce
more-
them as
yeah.
laws.
It's garbage. It's unconstitutional.
Well, we got some more
Yeah, we got some more Boeing stuff.
plane stuff. So if you ever plan, if you
surprise.
plan on flying, just don't.
I wouldn't recommend it. Neither would the whistleblower. He says that they're not safe. He said if you get on a Boeing aircraft, you're risking your life. This 787, the cockpit filled with smoke, and they had to. They were forced to do an emergency landing. Dude, could you imagine landing such a large aircraft while the
While
cockpit
it's
is
smoking?
filled with smoke?
No.
I think a lot of these can pretty much land themselves. They're capable of it anyway. Whether or not they do is a different story.
Right.
But that's just another Boeing incident. What else is new? Let's see what else we got. I don't know if anybody has followed what's going on with the U.S. military in Niger. They're essentially being stranded. I have two things on this, and I think they came from like they're like 1 day apart. But essentially there's 1,000 or so, or a little more than 1,000 U.S. troops, and they're essentially being, according to this article, held hostage. They have no supplies. They're just kind of stuck. Or they're running low on supplies, especially medical supplies, and the Biden administration is pretty much refusing to respond to them. Basically, like Benghazi, all over again.
Yeah. So I have a question. Why do we have military in Niger?
I don't know, honestly. It's not something I keep up to speed on. I'm not. There's all kinds of shit going on in Africa, though. That we have troops over in Africa.
No, I know we do, but why?
Yeah. Why? For no fucking reason, really. in my honest opinion.
Right.
Justify spending military money, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what if there is a legit reason. I don't know what it is. Here's Matt Gates. U.S. State Department is engaging in a deliberate cover-up on conditions of U.S. forces in Niger, leaving our troops in harm's way.
I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record of the House the document styled Unwelcome in Niger, the interim report from Congressman Matt Gaetz on the U.S. crisis in Niger.
Is that how that's really said, Niger, and not Niger?
Mr. Speaker, I come to the House floor this evening to expose a cover-up in the African country of Niger. This cover-up exists to conceal
Wait,
the
is that how you say
humiliating...
it?
I don't know. I guess I've never heard it.
I've
It's a
never heard
7-minute video. I don't want to watch the whole thing.
No, I've never heard that said like that either. I've always heard Niger.
Same.
All right.
I mean, he could be right. I don't know.
I mean, and again,
They
yeah, I don't know.
they can't get diplomatic overflights to receive medicine, fresh troop rotations, or even basic supplies. This is Benghazi.
Yeah.
They have no mission. They're just fucking chilling.
I wonder if it has kind of something similar to the same storyline as Benghazi. Because remember, Hillary Clinton, like everything that happened with Benghazi, I fully believe that Benghazi happened because it was a hit on the ambassador
I think you're right.
by the Clinton family.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh yeah, it says right here. I fear as we speak the conditions may be forming to create another Benghazi-style attack.
Yeah.
I don't know what the conditions are in Niger or however the fuck he said it. I've never heard that before. Niger or whatever.
Niger.
Niger.
See, Benghazi happened because the Clinton family were afraid that the ambassador was going to blow the whistle on what was happening
Right.
with situations over in Benghazi.
So this one was posted yesterday. I think it's a day apart from the other one, and this is claiming that they're actually going to withdraw.
Okay.
And it must have been after all the pressure that Matt Gaetz was giving them, maybe, and they're like, okay, I guess we're gonna have
Yeah,
to
I guess
do
we should probably do something.
Actually, it wasn't just him. There's people all over the internet, or at least on X, that were
okay.
like,
So it says just last month, Niger said it was revoking the military cooperation deal with the U.S.
okay,
So they don't want
they don't want him there.
They don't want him there. So fuck him.
Get out of there.
Get out of there.
Should have done that a while ago. Then
That's one thing I don't understand. A lot of these countries don't want us there to help them.
right.
So they can fucking help themselves.
Oh, here you go. Last summer, the U.S. troops stationed in Niger, whatever you want to call it, became inactive after a military coup that pushed out the democratically elected president. I feel like I kind of vaguely remember hearing about that.
Wait, so was that
So there was a coup last summer, and after that, the U.S. Troops that were stationed there became inactive. So they've just been chilling there for over a year.
Yeah, so they've been chilling there, but is that saying that the United States was involved in the military coup to uproot this President Mohammed whatever?
I don't. It doesn't
Is that-
necessarily implicate that per se. Last summer, the U.S. troops stationed, they became inactive after. So they, no, I think this military coup was like, and this is a link. We could probably just open it.
Oh, so the
So it's
Niger
just there that yeah.
military did a coup. This is one of those things, though. This is in United States intelligence agencies' modus operandi. You know what I mean? They did the same thing with Iraq, Iran.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
They do the same thing. This is what they do in order to get their power structure in place.
Right.
Because Saddam Hussein, he was put into power by the United States. Ayatollah Khomeini in Iran was put into power by the United States.
Yep.
All of these people. Hitler was put into power by the United States.
I know we could just go on and on and on.
Like
I
Prescott.
there's a common denominator.
Yeah, there's a common denominator here. Prescott Bush was funneling money to Hitler. Who is Prescott Bush? Well, that's George H.W. Bush's grandfather.
What did he?
let's see
What
that is.
was his?
Huh?
What was his thing?
He was one of the heads of. It wasn't the CIA then, but it was like the U.S. Naval Intelligence or whatever.
Oh, Bush's grandfather.
Yeah,
Wow.
Prescott Bush. Yeah, he funneled money to Hitler.
Not surprising.
Well, there's so much to Hitler.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Here's a fun one for you. Houston IRS office closes early because of fighting. Internal Revenue Service in Houston closed abruptly on Saturday. What day was this? This is April 14th, so this was last weekend. It happened while taxpayers were trying to get assistance with filing their taxes. Hundreds of people were lined up at the IRS building hoping to get help with their taxes. Instead, a field assistant from the IRS said that they had to shut down early because of a riot that broke out. Oh, this must be a video. I ain't doing no pay or any. I ain't doing no playing. Well, who the fuck's this? Some random guy. Must be part of this video. I hate how often, like, when you're reading an article, it's like you read something that literally was almost exactly what they were.
Yeah.
They repeat themselves frequently. They're like, "Oh, this thing happened. Oh, this thing happened. Oh, this
Yeah,
thing."
they do. Dude, IRS needs to.
It
we
needs to
shouldn't-
go away.
We shouldn't be paying taxes.
No.
And
Especially for it to just be wasted and thrown at endless wars and losing wars and
right. I do know, and that's one thing that I liked about Trump too, is he was trying to make it so countries would have to pay tariffs again.
yeah.
Dude, that's what
That's
our
the way it
government.
that
That's
should
what
have
our
never
government has
stopped.
always run off
Yeah.
of is tariffs
They should have
until
never stopped doing
1913,
that.
and they should have never stopped doing that. Like even if you, I don't agree with taxes at all.
No.
But even if you needed like a sliver of taxes to supplement a little bit until we can get that fully in place, I'd be okay with it. But the government needs to be, first off,
There should be an end date to it. Like
there should be an end date to
there
it.
should be
yeah.
an
It
expiration.
was supposed to
to
be
it.
an
Yeah.
expiration to it. But the government needs to be, they need to go back to 100% on tariffs. That's how they fund themselves. And then on top of that, all of these 3-letter agencies, all of these agencies that have, I don't like the EPA,
Yeah.
like all of these agencies, all of these bureaucracies just need to be just
Gone. Gone. What purpose are they serving? Like you said, the EPA. They get to determine like what is safe and what isn't, and then later it's determined that what they said previously was safe is no longer safe.
Right.
Like all the food stuff, the FDA is saying, "Oh yeah,
FDA, yeah.
this amount of this is safe." Well, then, if you know that X amount of whatever is safe, But later you're saying, "Oh no,
Oh, it
that's not
causes
safe." Well,
cancer, my
then
bad.
at one point you measured those things and were like, "Oh yeah, this you can have this much and it'll be okay."
Right.
No,
Nope.
no, you knew it was bad, and now you have to admit it later because people are having issues.
Yep. Our government should only consist of a few things: the Senate, the House, which makes up the legislature, the presidency, which makes up the executive branch, and then the judicial system.
Yeah,
That's all we need.
which needs to be far less corrupt than it is.
Right.
We already talked about the police that are doing.
But that's as big as our
Yeah,
government.
you know.
That's as big as our government needs to be.
Yeah,
There.
we don't need a fucking ATF. We don't need a fucking FBI. We don't need any of that bullshit.
Nope. All of these bureaucracies, they never existed before. It was just the legislature, the executive, and the judicial. It wasn't all of these bureaucracies that were funneled into those systems.
Right.
So we need to go back to fundamental small government and reinstate the actual Constitution the way it was meant to be. And Bill
Yeah,
of
and,
Rights.
and our so-called leaders should be the way they were meant to be. They were meant to be people like you and me that
Yeah, statesmen.
stepped up and said, "Hey,
Mhm.
I'm gonna help kind of carry the torch here." And it's not like it was never meant to be a population or a popularity contest or
No.
a, who has the fucking biggest wallet contest
Mm-mm. Nope, it wasn't. And
like it is now, or who has the most.
it was never supposed to be a career.
No, it was supposed to be, hey, I'm doing this as a service to my country for X amount of time, how 1 term, 2 terms, whatever it might be,
Right.
and then you go back to doing what you did before.
Yeah.
Which at that time was like farmers and blacksmiths and shit like that.
Right. Yeah, and I think we need to go back to voting for both the president and the vice president, because the vice president used to be voted on,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's just chosen by whatever
The candidate.
the candidate is.
Yeah.
But there's been multiple times throughout history where it's been the president and the vice president were different parties, which I'm sorry, but that would make things a lot harder to get through.
That's true.
But
It
we
would
should
be. It
we shouldn't
would
have
be.
parties anyways. But at the same
No.
time,
But that's why we have the balance in
right?
the house. They try to keep it balanced and everything. Well, it
Yeah,
has
the
to be
checks and
balanced,
balances,
yeah.
but they're all fucking corrupt.
They're talking about getting rid of checks and balances. I saw
Yeah.
a thing about that earlier.
Wait, how do you get rid of checks and balances?
Fuck, I don't know. I didn't dig into it. I just saw it. It was probably fear porn, honestly.
That's like saying, okay, we're just gonna get rid of the legislature because that way they can't hold each other accountable, which they don't anyways.
Right. Exactly.
They also don't hold other bureaucracies accountable either.
Mm-mm.
That's what checks and balances are, is holding people accountable.
Right.
Like that way, oh, hey, the Federal Reserve isn't, yeah, they're just printing money. We should probably stop that. Like
They're
that's
not going to.
that's what checks and balances are for.
Right. Who was the guy that said that there's an endless amount of money in the Federal Reserve?
Oh, I don't.
I can't
even know
remember who that was. A couple years ago, he said that.
Yeah, he's stupid. Yeah, because fractional banking and freaking just endless printing of money, just that works fucking great. Works fantastic.
Oh, here you go. Gerald Connolly says the Ukraine border is our border. Get fucked.
See, I mean,
Get fucked.
so Gerald Conley. So you support Nazism, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're saying.
That's what he's saying. This shit's getting out of hand, dude.
That's fucking wild. Hey, let's look at your bingo card. You still have your bingo card?
I do. It's buried in my phone somewhere.
I wonder how many
Edward-
bingos you have.
Edward Snowden urges Biden to veto FISA reauthorization.
He ain't gonna veto
He
it.
ain't gonna veto. He's not even gonna read it. He's just gonna sign it. We're fucked.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have to.
We're fucked. That's it.
I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know how we fix it from here. The only way to fix it from here is to let it collapse.
Yeah.
And then to
rebuild
rebuild.
it.
But to rebuild it with people with this state of mind of fucking just bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't have Rep Mike Johnson in any type of power play or any type of powerful position if you're gonna rebuild.
Right.
So that would be like, okay, we let it collapse and then we expect these motherfuckers to rebuild it.
Right.
It's not possible to
It's
have these
not.
fucking people to rebuild it. Like every single politician.
Oh, they passed it. Here you go. 95 billion. So a few days ago, actually, when we talked about earlier, the CIA director said that if they don't pass this bill, which at that time when he said that was 60 billion,
Now it got
that
boosted.
Ukraine was going to lose the war. Now the bill, it passed today, and it's 95 billion. We've already sent them over 75 billion.
Do you know what this
And
is?
they're claiming, oh, they're going to lose if we don't send. They're going to lose anyway. How many times have we mentioned that they're losing right now? They're losing this war,
They're
and we're
getting-
just shoveling this
they're
money. So
getting they're not just losing, dude.
They're getting pummeled.
fucking decimated. And people aren't even aware of it.
no,
They're getting decimated.
no, they're just listening to what the TV told them.
and we're funneling money into and
Yeah,
I don't support either side.
No.
Russia or Ukraine, because Russia is just trying to they're another powerful country that's just trying to expand their back to the USSR,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. They have different views than we do. And then Ukraine is full of fucking Nazis. People that say that Ukraine only has a small portion of Nazis in it.
yeah, like that
It's-
doctor did the other day.
Yeah, that's bullshit. The Ukraine is full of fucking Nazis. Full.
Even if it was even if it was just a small portion, they are acknowledged Nazis that wear the insignia on their fucking uniform,
Well, dude, fucking
and you're funding them.
when Zelensky had that when he I don't remember if he actually came to DC or if he was just on like a Zoom type meeting.
Oh
Or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
He was wearing a fucking shirt that had an iron cross on it. In plain sight.
People don't want to talk about it though.
Like
They won't let you talk about it. It's like you said. I think a lot of people are being
I should
throttled.
probably still see if we're still alive.
Oh,
Hold
that's
on.
a good point, actually. That is actually a good point. We probably are. I mean, the thing's green, so
Are we? Oh yeah, we're still alive. We're good.
is there any viewers? I haven't seen
no.
any comments.
No,
So.
nobody watching.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh well. I like talking.
We're probably being throttled anyway. It's probably not even on the fucking algorithm.
No. Nope. YouTube's probably like, man, even though these guys have barely any subscribers, we don't want anybody to see them. That's why even like as small as we are, we've still had our stream pulled
Yeah, yeah. That was
while we were alive.
that was so dumb.
Like we're so
was
small,
so
nobody's
dumb.
listening. I mean, some will listen. We get views after the fact, but
This is a good point right here. Rand Paul foreign flags flying in the United States House. Yeah, that's a
Bro.
good point. It doesn't belong there.
Yeah.
It shouldn't even be really a fucking subject.
No.
It's
the
none of our
most-
fucking business. We have our own problems to deal with.
Yeah.
If we have the money to fund a fucking war that we have no stakes in whatsoever, we can fund to fix our own fucking problems.
Bro, we have politicians that are shouting Ukraine, Ukraine in our fucking
Inside of our
Congress.
Yeah, that's insanity, dude. Absolute fucking insanity.
That's called treason.
Treason.
That is treason.
60 billion.
You're stealing the American citizens' money to fund a foreign country.
That's losing.
That's losing.
Rep Diaz says Putin is a
Putin.
KGB thug and he won't stop at Ukraine. That's not wrong.
That's not wrong.
It's not
but
wrong.
Zelensky is also a Nazi.
Yeah. It should be none of our business.
You're
Whatever happens. What are we doing? We're funding somebody who's going to lose, and then we would have to step in because at this point the diminishing returns are overwhelming, and we would have to get involved to even have any chance of saving face and win-win for the Democrats. They get to cancel the election and I almost said Obama. Almost had a Freudian slip there. Gets to remain president.
Right. So, dude, this is where when people say history just repeats itself. Because
Exactly.
if you think about it, it's the same thing as World War II. Like, which side do you pick? Do you pick the Nazis or do you pick Stalin?
Right.
Here's your choice. Should we fund Hitler or should we fund Stalin? How about we
I don't
fund
know.
neither?
How about we fund neither and make sure our children in our own country have dinner
Yeah.
and a roof over their head, or we have a secure border,
Yeah.
or I don't know.
And I mean, the one thing that people don't understand is, like, I could see where you'd say, well, we shouldn't go to, then in that essence, we shouldn't have went to war with the Nazis. However, the Nazis actually did attack the United States because they've had settlements in South America even before the war was over.
Oh, hold up. House passes TikTok ban bill.
Oh,
No
interesting.
shit. I didn't think that was actually going to pass. Honest. Wow. Overwhelmingly passed. And then you got this. No. This is no surprise. You got people having fucking mental breakdowns over a social media platform. Oh, my livelihood.
So
You shouldn't be relying on a fucking app to pay you money to
No.
survive.
nope,
Get a job.
go
Get a job. If you want to make money on social media, that's a side gig. That is never a fucking. I mean, I get that it very well and
Turn into a
rapidly
main
turns
gig.
into a full-time job because of it takes a lot of fucking work to run a social media account. I get it.
Yeah.
But
Especially
that
editing
you
videos.
should never rely on something that should go away at any moment as
No.
your main source of income.
And do you know what the simple here, everybody that's on fucking TikTok, if you have $1 million in the bank, I'm sorry, but go put that shit in a trust fund, live off the interest. You'll be
Yep.
fine. If you're that big on TikTok where it's your full-time gig
Or YouTube or whatever.
or YouTube or whatever.
So any platform like that pays you, yeah, you definitely want to have a heavy cushion.
Take your money, put it in a trust fund that pays like 10 to 15%. Trust me, you'll be fucking fine.
Yeah.
And if you can't live off that percentage, like if you're a millionaire and you put that money in a trust fund and you can't live off the interest payment on that, then you have a problem.
Okay, so what exactly does this ban entail? Like, are they just gonna like not allow people to download the app in this country?
I don't know. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I get it that I mean, we should be able to have the choice of having something like TikTok. At the same time,
We could have our own.
we could have our own.
We
Yeah.
could have our own version of it.
We
We
don't.
did. We had Vine.
Yeah.
Actually, Elon was talking about
Bringing
bringing it
Vine
back.
Oh, dude, I'd be down with that. Vine was fucking sweet.
It was.
I just I don't like banning things.
I don't either. I kind of I'm kind of conflicted on it. I think it should be banned just because of the nature of TikTok and
The nature of Chinese spying,
harvesting information and all that stuff. I think TikTok should be banned, but I don't really think that they should just like outright get rid of
Here's
the platform or whatever you want to call it, because I mean people should have the freedom to use.
I have a question for you.
I guess it doesn't matter.
This
really.
is actually really interesting now that I think about it.
Okay.
Why are they banning this? And then at the same time, they're allowing themselves to have all the authority to spy on you.
Good point.
At the same time, like this,
These
these are going
yeah.
on at the same time.
Yeah, like within the same. Basically, they do all these things in the same at the same time. So like they voted on the the bill about the FISA.
The NDA.
They did
or
that.
whatever,
They
yeah.
voted on that. They voted on this, and the omnibus bill probably all within
in the same session.
in the same session. Yeah, or
So
or within a day of each other.
So this is what they did. They voted to give themselves more authority to spy on the American citizen.
Yes.
And then they banned an app on the TikTok app to take away the ability from China to spy on the American citizen.
They want to have exclusive ability to
Yep.
spy on the American citizens.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
They want the power in their hands, not in some other country's hands. So you
What a
could just
joke,
say
dude.
that these bills that are going on is just a power grab for the United States government.
Big time power grab, yeah. House passes Russian frozen asset bill to release 300 million for Ukraine.
Dude, or Russia doesn't have money
Wait, are they trying to like?
already.
Are they trying to force Russia to pay Ukraine 300 million?
Oh yeah, it looks like okay, so the frozen assets of Russian oligarchs to fund future aid to Ukraine. I mean, if you force sure, but I'm still. Well, how do we have any? Oh my God! How does the United States have any control over this?
I don't know. Honestly. Oh, I didn't have that on camera, but yeah, they're. So is this like some sort of like a sanction or something on?
Yeah, there was sanctions. Do you remember when they started confiscating the oligarchs' yachts and
Yeah.
blah blah blah, all that shit? But it does nothing. These people. Oh my God. Our government gives me a headache.
Uh-huh. Same.
You think the United States government thinks that they can just
Oh yeah.
have complete control over another country.
Right.
That's all. That's
Check this one out. We watched this earlier. It's pretty cool. Rare police W right here.
we should give the context first.
We should. My bad. This is in Seattle. The police, these officers set up a sting operation for a
Child.
chomo.
Yep, for a child predator.
6-year-old man. He showed up with a gun. You'll see right at the very beginning when they open the door, he pulls it out of his coat. I'll try and pause it. His arm's already in his coat right there. Gun right there. And then you're gonna hear it go off in just a second. Right there, it went off. They wrestle in for it. Oh, he gets tagged. Oh. Well, that's one less child toucher.
Yep, that is called justice.
Justice.
Right there. That is how you deal with these people. That's
It is
100% how you deal with a predator that preys on children. I don't even feel bad.
Nope.
Matter of fact, they could have probably reloaded and
did it again.
dumped another mag into
Yeah.
him. Wouldn't have felt bad.
Nope.
Anybody that harms a child
Deserves
like that
or worse.
deserves death.
Yep. In the worst possible manner.
Yeah. I don't understand I don't understand how any type of culture could ever be okay with something like that.
Right.
Or yeah, it's just wrong. I mean, even when you take a look at, like, this would piss off Muslims, but when you look at Muhammad, their prophet, and he married a 9-year-old.
Right.
Like, how is that okay? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Here's your commander-in-chief.
Uncle Boosie.
Uncle Boosie. He claims his uncle was shot down in World War II and consumed by cannibals. And then later, of course, the White House had to try and deflect it. Like, oh, he had a emotional day because he was in like his hometown and da.
He didn't get his ice cream this morning.
Bosie. We called him Uncle Bosie. He was shot down. He was an Army Air Corps before there was an Air Force. He flew single-engine planes, reconnaissance flights over New Guinea. He had volunteered because someone couldn't make it. He got shot down in an area where there were a lot of cannibals in New Guinea at the time. They never recovered his body, but the government went back when I went down there and they checked and found some parts of the plane and the like. And what
I can't believe they even allow this guy to speak in front of a camera anymore.
Well, they're trying not to.
They're trying not to. Yeah, you're right. They're trying not to.
They're trying to put a lid on him and to be like, "Hey, dude, just go sit in the basement.
Yep.
We got you."
Like they did in 2020.
Yeah. So I don't know if many people know this, but you can tell when Biden is telling a blatant lie. He'll always say, like, truthfully, or like he'll be like, "No, man, it really happened."
Yeah, or like, "Come on, man."
Yeah,
he says.
He will always
on,
try
man.
to like signify that he is like, "Oh no, I'm being
serious.
honest. I'm telling the truth. This is what really happened." He always has a little signifier that shows that he is telling a lie.
He does.
And he's always like, "No, true. This is true. This truly happened." And then you go, "Oh yeah, no, he's lying again."
Right. He always has. His
Yeah.
whole career he's been a liar.
But he has those signifiers when you can actually spot those lies. Because he'll always say, like, honestly, honest, yeah, true, truth, yeah.
I just can't believe they even really allow him to speak in front of a camera anymore. That's Weekend at Joe's. That's funny. I like that they had Obama here.
Yeah.
What is this from?
Uh,
Oh, it's like a whole compilation of him struggling to formulate sentences.
Of course, Trump posted that. That's
Right.
funny.
Couple more things here.
I do love Trump's trolling.
It's hilarious. My favorite one was when he was like mocking somebody, like he was like retarded. That was my favorite one. That was really funny. Here's something from yesterday. This article's from yesterday. A potential school shooting was stopped. We'll find out exactly how. I'm not really sure, but this person, Andrea Yee, is a supposed trans person.
Yeah.
Biologic.
Alex Yee.
Oh, okay. There's no picture. I saw a picture earlier, but I don't think it was on this article.
Oh, interesting.
Anyway, Andrea Yee was born a girl.
Said he wanted to be
18-year-old.
famous.
Really? Where'd you see that?
Says right there, read more.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Oh, wanted to be famous. Okay. 129-page manifesto. Apparently she wrote. I'm gonna call it what it is. This is she. Born a she. Is gonna be a she.
Okay, I have a question. This news article is calling this person a he.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
What city is this in? First off.
Montgomery County,
County.
Rockville, Maryland.
Okay.
Is this Maryland?
So it's Maryland. This person is sitting in a men's jail. It's Maryland. Maryland is very, very liberal.
Oh, they do that.
They will do that.
Clearly
So
has
this-
mental health issues, and I think would be worth our while to figure out when could we have known. Okay, so they're wondering if there were like signs and everything. Could have been an intervention. Has been charged with threats of mass violence and is currently being held in Montgomery County Central Processing Unit.
Where he awaits a bond hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is actually a female.
Yes.
So this person is sitting in the boys section of jail.
Very
I
likely.
would almost
Very
bet it.
likely.
It's Maryland.
Preferred name is Alex. Don't care.
No.
And not because of the viewpoint, but because this person planned to do harm to people, so I don't respect them. I'm not going to pay anybody any respects of their identity of any sort. I don't care if you've changed your name and want to be called something else. I don't care if you've what your gender identity is. I don't give a shit. If you have any desire to cause injury to anyone else because your mental health has gone so far out of control, you don't deserve any respect.
Hey, scroll down. Hold on.
Oh,
Right
there's
there.
a photo.
So what is up with all of these shooters, all these people that are doing all this shit? What is up with them writing a manifesto?
I don't know. I don't.
This
get
one
it.
wrote a 129-page manifesto. What is up with these people?
It's because here's my thing. I think because pretty much everybody that has committed acts like that in recent history at least has been far left leaning in nature.
Mm-hmm.
And they tend to be emotional people who need to like express in some way in this way is usually in a written manifesto. They express their outright insane emotions
Well, these
on paper this way.
these types of actions. So there's there's two different things here. These types of actions where people are acting on emotional and reactions and stuff like that. This is always done by somebody that will always align to some type of socialistic communism
Yep.
type ideology. People that actually generally revolt and create a revolution, those are generally more freedom type people, where they want actual freedom instead of communism, which is just control, way more control to a government.
Right.
People that actually do revolutions, those are people that want freedom.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah.
And when you push a person to that point where they just want freedom, where they don't want to be a slave no more, that's a revolution. And that's when things actually get changed.
Right.
And maybe dude, I don't know. I don't know at what point that people get pushed to that point.
Yeah.
I don't want to see violence
No.
at all. I wish things could be changed peacefully. And I pray that they do.
Yeah. Unfortunately for me, I don't think we are any longer in a position where we can vote our way out of.
I don't know. I don't know if we are. I hope we are, but
I
don't
hope
know.
so. I mean,
I don't know. They've kind of proven that the voting system was rigged.
it's garbage
Last
and
time.
yeah, it's rigged. But I mean, we're gonna keep trying because what choices do we really have?
Yeah, I would rather try than not and be stuck with the same. Dude, if we're stuck with Biden again for another 4 years, this country's gone. They can't survive it. Economically, we would be done.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
So, yeah. People need to vote like their life depends on it, because it does. And I don't even know if that's going to work or even be enough.
Oh, here you go. The Associated Press says court records show the teen was hospitalized in December 2022 after threatening to shoot up the school.
So they're
And followed months. Yeah, so they and then there was suicide by cop also.
talking about suicide by cop.
Yeah. Physically attended at MCPS school since the fall of 2022.
So, you know the crazy thing? School shootings, I mean, there was a couple before then, but typically they didn't happen until Columbine.
Right.
Columbine was the kickoff of a lot of school shootings,
Which was also during assault weapons ban.
which was also during assault weapons ban. And the people that did Columbine shooting also had, so on their shoelaces, I forget the main dude.
I remember that.
He had a hammer and sickle
Yeah.
button on his shoelace. They were fucking communists.
They almost always are. Almost always. Not including the ones that are staged by 3-letter agencies like
Right.
Vegas and, those. That's for another day.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be careful with that.
Mm-hmm.
Vegas was a little different though, because that wasn't staged by 3-letter agencies. That was another thing. So when we were talking about an assassination attempt,
Oh, yeah, that was because
Trump was in Vegas at that time. and that
I
was the
I don't think
Saudis.
it was. Yeah, I was gonna say I think it was the
Yeah.
Saudi. What was that guy?
So it was planned by the Prince of Saudi Arabia, which was Prince Alawid bin Talal.
Okay.
So he's no longer the prince anymore, because he was actually arrested not long after that, and then his brother took over as being the prince.
Okay.
Of Saudi
Yeah, we've
Arabia.
talked about that before.
Yeah, so that was an assassination attempt on our president. No one's aware of that,
Well,
but
we don't really get to talk about it either. It's one of those things. They'll wouldn't be surprised if they fucking take us down just right now if we're talking about it.
Probably.
I do have one more thing. It's
I don't care if they take us down.
Yeah, I don't
they
care
take us
either.
down.
Fuck 'em.
Whatever.
I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say.
It's the
If
truth.
you're gonna try and silence me, you can get fucked. Put on your red coat.
Put on your red coat. Yeah. The truth. I mean, with Vegas though, is you had a clown gun runner that was taking weapons to some Saudis that were planning a assassination attempt on the president, and they weren't successful, and they shot into
There's so many things about
a crowd
that
of people.
event that was. It's sketchy.
Yeah.
How did this guy carry all that shit up into the room without any fucking footage catching him?
What's because there's footage of him taking up suitcases. And
Yeah,
all
but
that
he was
stuff.
doing it in like trips too.
Yeah, he's doing it in trips. But you have to remember the Saudi prince Alawi bin Talal owned that whole section of that hotel. They own that
Interesting.
section.
Why and how do people from other countries own like parts or whole buildings like that, or fucking land?
How did China have access to Hillary Clinton's server?
Mm-hmm.
They had full access because it's pay to play scheme.
I feel like we'd be really surprised by the amount of things that they
Yeah.
probably have access to.
They've sold off our country.
Absolutely.
Why
Absolutely.
does China have more farmland in the United States than than all of the farmers combined in the United States? China owns more farmland than everybody.
And Bill Gates.
Yeah, China and Bill Gates. It's fucking crazy, man.
It is.
They sold off our entire fucking country.
And what are they doing with it? Some of them are becoming solar panel farms,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't, in my opinion, isn't that big of a deal, really. I mean, it is because it could otherwise be used for agriculture, which is what farmland is for
Yeah.
agriculture, not for
Well, the problem with
solar farms.
the problem with solar and wind generation is it's inefficient.
Yeah.
If you want to create your own generator, you go look up Radiant Energy generator.
There's a company.
That's Nikola Tesla's technology.
Yeah. That's a good way to do it. There's a company that's building. It's actually kind of cool. They build a generator inside of this buoy. And
Oh,
the
okay.
way it floats
So
up
it's
and
just a
down is
water
generated.
generation?
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's really cool. But I mean, you're relying on kinetic movement.
But that's always there in the
But-
ocean.
Yeah, it's always there in the ocean.
You don't always have wind. You don't always have sunlight.
I mean, Earth itself is a big magnet,
Mm-hmm.
right? We always have positive and negative ions
Mm-hmm.
within the atmosphere. All you have to do, and you could go to the hardware store, buy a small coil of copper wire, and go outside and take a multimeter and put the positive on one side, the negative on one side. Guarantee you'll get a voltage reading.
Oh yeah.
It's the same thing. You can collect energy right out of the atmosphere, and it'll always be there. It'll never run out. That's what radiant energy collection is.
Yeah, that'd be really cool to.
It's all free energy. That's
Yeah.
what Tesla's coil ran off of.
Right. That'd be cool to power your whole fucking house
You can do it.
like that.
You'd probably have some people show up at your door though, and that's
Yeah.
the scary thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually,
You
probably what would happen is they wouldn't show up at your door. They would show up at a supermarket.
Yeah.
Like
show
what
up
happened to
somewhere,
that
yeah.
security guard in Buffalo that had a water engine.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I actually don't that. So my ideas with radiant, it won't work. Don't try it.
Right.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I have no idea.
What
I don't know nothing.
are we sitting at here?
You know the crazy thing is,
It's like 2.5, 2 and some odd. Oh, almost 2.5. We're about average.
you know the crazy thing is like the water engine, right? That engine that ran off water. Do you know how easy it is to make those?
Depends. It depends on what you mean, because you can build a HHO generator
Mm-hmm.
that extracts hydrogen from water.
Yeah, it's just all you need is a jar and 2 electrodes, positive and negative.
Yeah.
And
Well, you can make it more efficient with more electrodes.
yeah, you can.
Yeah, but yeah, that they're not
It's simple.
super hard to make. The hard part is tuning the engine to run on it.
Right. Correct. Yeah.
I mean,
And-
you can run like a lawnmower, like a lawnmower or a small engine like that pretty well. They don't give a shit what you put in them for the most part.
Right.
But a car takes a bit more effort in tuning and
Well, you can buy a hydrogen. You can buy that stuff for a vehicle.
yeah,
But
but
people aren't aware of it.
what like the hydrogen car, like what you would think that you would drive to work or whatever, is like you would fill the car with hydrogen, not using
Well, yeah, that's different.
yeah,
Yeah. The
or not hydrogen. I mean water.
well, they make kits for cars that you can just put it on your gas engine. So what it
Yeah.
does is it separates the hydrogen out of water,
Mm-hmm.
and it puts it into your system, but your car is still running on fuel, but it makes the burn rate of the fuel like 98%. So you can actually get
You're stretching it a little
yeah,
further.
on a car that does like 30 miles to a gallon, you can get 100 miles to a gallon
That'd be
on
sweet.
fuel.
Somebody
Wow.
was telling me years ago that car manufacturers have had the ability to make a hyper efficient engine since like the 70s, or if not sooner.
Yeah, if not
They
so.
just refuse to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, back when we had carbureted engines, they had carburetors that would run like 40 to 50 miles per gallon, but they kept using inefficient carburetors because
Well, it's easier to.
everybody's in the pocket of the
It's
fucking
easier.
oil industry.
Yeah, there's that, and it's just easier and cheaper to build a less efficient engine.
Right. It's easier and
You
cheaper.
can build that at home out of random shit you find around. You can buy an engine that runs on gasoline out of random shit around your house.
Yeah.
It's going to be incredibly inefficient and burn fuel like a motherfucker, but
Yeah.
you can build it. That's cheap and easier to do than all the research and development it takes to build a hyper efficient engine. But it's like really doable.
Right.
And they've, like I was saying, they've known how to do it for a long time. Well, I guess we're getting pretty close to our normal.
Yeah, pretty close. Dude, my stomach. I'm so hungry.
I'm also really hungry. We gotta run and get. I gotta get dog food and
Gotta
we
get
gotta find
doggy
some
food.
food and do some other random shit.
Go get some boba tea.
Yeah, I want some too.
Yeah. Ever since I
That
mentioned
actually
it, you're like,
sounds
oh, that actually sounds good.
I kind of also want Qdoba.
Qdoba.
I
I'm
like
down.
that. I like that shit.
Yeah, if we're going that way.
Actually, we're the boba place is
There's
near. Yeah,
Qdoba right
it's
there.
like right next. They're pretty much right next to each other.
I gotta pee.
Same.
Okay.
So yeah, last thing I got here. 2 hunters in the U.S. have been have died as a result of what a lot of you probably heard about it. A lot of places are calling it zombie deer. It's chronic wasting disease. It's not anything new. People are making it sound like, oh, it's a new scary disease. It's not new, but this is
No,
the
it's
first
been
time
around for
that
a long time.
people have died from consuming meat infected with chronic wasting disease.
I just don't understand why these hunters didn't take their deer to get.
That
Tested.
right. you really should get them tested when you do get one. You're supposed to, at least in Michigan.
I mean, unless they seriously didn't, unless they were not aware of CWD in that area. If this was the first case of CWD and they ate the deer and then they're like, oh shit. That's
Right. I mean, if you're a
possible?
hunter, you know about chronic wasting disease.
Right.
I don't care where you're from. You know about it if you're a hunter, and you know how to look for it and what to do.
Well, generally, even if you take a deer, and I would still take it to get tested. But generally,
Yeah, of course.
if you're looking, I believe it's if you're looking in the around the lungs, there'll be like bubbles or some shit like that.
Yeah. I actually, my first ever deer had it.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was pissed. It was my first deer. I was so excited, and it's actually when I learned about it, and yeah, I was pretty bummed. Lost the whole deer.
Bro, have you ever seen videos of the deer with CWD?
I've seen
Like
them
walking around?
Yeah, I've actually seen them with
Yeah.
my own eyes. Deer with it.
You're like, oh,
It's pretty gnarly,
and
dude.
that's why they call them zombie deer. Is because
Yeah, there's a reason why, but I don't really like that they're using fear mongering tactics on
100%.
people by saying,
by
"Oh,
saying zombie deer.
zombie deer was spotted here." It's pretty common. It's a problem.
Yeah, it's a big enough problem to where, dude, some of the stuff that they were gonna try and do, they're trying to eliminate so many deer, even the healthy ones.
Yeah,
Here
that's
in
why
Michigan.
that's why they have cullings.
Yeah.
They do them. I think they do one once a year. I don't know.
They've done
if
some
everywhere, but they
big
do 'em-
callings when it first came out.
Yeah,
Though.
they do them. They do them every once in a while, and it's a lot of times it's because of this, because of chronic wasting disease. But and there's a lot of people who are against hunting, but really this is one of the reasons why it exists, is to help keep down
Yeah.
diseases like this, and that's a discussion for another day. But I mean, there's a
No,
reason.
hunting is important.
It is important.
Very, very important.
I don't hunt like I used to. I just kind of, it just doesn't feel like hunting anymore, especially for deer when you can walk out
Right.
in your backyard and shoot one.
I just need the land to hunt on.
Right.
I don't.
I mean, if you're putting meat on the table, that's one thing. Like you go
Right.
out there,
That's
like
all
I
I
said,
would
out in
do.
the backyard and hunt. It's not really hunting. I don't like it being called hunting. Like, oh, I'm going out hunting. No, you're not.
Right.
No, you're not. If that's how you do it, that's not hunting. That's just my personal opinion. Hunting, in my opinion, would be you're going out and you're stalking them and moving around and
Oh yeah. What did you say you wouldn't call hunting? Like going out your back
walking
door?
out backyard,
fuck no,
climbing
that's
up in a
not
tree
hunting.
and waiting for them to walk in front of you and shooting them.
No, that's not hunting.
No.
No, but
All right. What's this saying here? Found in deer northern Colorado and southern Wyoming in the 90s. Was recorded in free-ranging deer, elk, and moose in at least 32 states across all parts of the continental U.S. Oh, I fucked that up.
it's been around for a while.
Yeah,
That's
it's been around for a
What's
good
it caused
while,
by?
in the
It's a
90s.
bug, correct?
Or
is it a?
No, I think it's similar to like tuberculosis,
Oh, okay.
which is also, I think, as they say here, it's like mad cow disease. Where did I see that?
Yeah, it was up away, but
Yeah, it's typically spread between deer when they're feeding. They stand near each other, and
okay.
that's why especially around here in Michigan, feeding is illegal, or having out
Yeah,
bait piles. It's
piles,
because
yeah.
of chronic
It's because
wasting
of this,
disease,
yeah.
and it's fucking cheating. That's why would you do that? It's not hunting. Again,
No,
it's not hunting.
no. There's one place though that like the reason I don't have, I wish I had hunting property. I Dude, I refuse to hunt state land.
Oh no, you get killed by somebody
Yeah.
doing hunting.
People
state
just
land.
fucking shoot at whatever is
Yeah.
making noise. Somebody
No
dies
thanks.
every single fucking year from it.
Well, yeah, there was that one up in the DeWitt area.
Yeah.
It was that he was an Asian guy. I don't think he was in the U.S. very long. I could be wrong, but he got fucking murdered out in the woods, and they took quite a long time to figure out like what happened to him and everything.
Yeah, that shit's fucking.
I don't remember the actual what came of it.
Right. Yeah, somebody dies every year though.
It happens all the time.
Fucking identify your fucking target first.
Right, or every once in a while you hear of someone's dog that
Shooting
got
a-
shot, or a
or a
fucking
cow.
horse, or a cow, or a horse.
Yeah, because that looked like a fucking deer, you idiot.
Right? What the fuck is wrong with people?
Bro, dude, a deer.
You
could
just
be-
wanted to shoot that cow, you sick bastard.
Yeah, a deer could be like 300-400 yards away. You look at him in your binoculars. They're like, oh yeah, there's a deer coming in.
Yeah, there's a deer.
You can see.
You can
what-
spot them with your. You don't even need binoculars. You're like, oh, there's deer in that field
Right.
when you're driving down the highway. Oh, look at all those deer over there.
Oh yeah.
Not, oh, look at all those cows and horses. You know a cow and a horse. You know a deer. You know a dog. Why would you? People are dumb.
Yeah.
You know a person. That's the big thing here.
Right.
They have a
Uh.
bright orange fucking vest on and a fucking bright orange hat on.
Bro, even if they didn't have that.
Even if they didn't, there's a bipedal being walking through the forest.
I ain't never.
They're not on fours. If
I've-
they're on two legs, shoot. No, I'm just kidding.
I've never
I'm just
seen
kidding.
a deer walk on two legs.
No, that's a skinwalker.
Oh shit!
Uh-oh, you're not supposed to say that word, apparently.
Did you ever see that? This happened recently. I think it was recently. There's somebody that like a furry, a dude that is a furry that dresses up like a deer, that went out hunting in his deer outfit, and he got shot.
Yeah, that was a parody.
Oh, that was a
Yeah, that was a
Okay.
parody. Yeah, yeah. I remember that one, and that was a parody, I think. If I'm thinking of the same one.
If it was a parody, that's fucking hilarious.
It is funny.
All right.
So what is this saying here? It says the second man who died was 77. Rapid onset confusion and aggression.
That's just dementia, man. I'm just kidding. No, it's probably.
I mean, it's probably relatively similar.
It probably is. It is like man.
It's
mad cow
a
disease, so-
neurological condition.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I know they get these huge warts and shit on them. There's one I see every once in a while over by my work that has like giant like tumors on its legs.
Oh really?
Yeah, it looks weird. I think it's also one that has CWD.
You know, I kind of think I have a theory that I just generated in my own mind.
Okay.
So, what do deer like to eat? They like to eat corn,
Acorns.
acorns,
Um,
all that type of stuff. right?
Yeah.
What if this is being caused by all the GMO type corn? Like the Monsanto corn?
Hmm.
Because before the 90s, it never existed.
Right. That's a good point.
So there's something that changed within the environmental.
Or pesticides, herbicides.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Especially in the '90s, that stuff was probably more. I mean, fuck. They banned fucking what's that hairspray? The one that fucking poked a hole in the ozone layer.
Oh yeah. So
I can't think of the name.
I can't think of the
fucking-
name. Aquanet? No.
Yes,
Was it
Aquanet. Yes, yeah, Aquanet. Yeah, they literally blamed that entire thing on that hairspray.
Damn. Well, dude, I mean, back then people were using that shit like it.
Like it was going out of style, and
like
it kind of was at that point.
one can.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Per
Can
hair.
yeah per fucking styling appointment, whole can.
Yeah, but I think I kind of think it's we we were the ones that caused it.
I agree.
Same
I
thing
think
with
so. Yeah.
I mean, we were the ones that caused mad cow disease because of the feed that because all so mad cow disease actually started from that grain feed that was being fed to cows. That's what started
Okay.
the mad cow disease. And then once they stopped using the grain feed because they figured out that's what was causing it, it basically went away. So I think it has, and it could be the feed that people like farmers put out for deer.
Yeah, it could be the feed. It could be chemicals they're spraying on plants, and it could be a number of things.
Huh. Interesting.
That's a good point.
It just popped in my head.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
But yeah, I think we're at 2.5 hours. A little
Yeah,
over 2.5.
2.5, exactly 2 hours and 31 minutes.
Yeah.
Not bad. It's been a pretty crazy week. I think we covered a pretty decent amount of stuff.
Yeah, it's been a wild one. It's been
Yeah,
a little
well, I mean,
spicy.
I think it's really only just gonna get more spicy.
It's gonna get more spicy.
Oh, you know the thing about Israel when they did their strike the other day on Iran. They said beforehand they weren't going to retaliate until
Yeah, that
after
was
Passover,
weird.
and then they did it.
And then they did it.
They just like outright lied. Isn't that a sin?
That is a sin. But so I know the weird thing is the Jewish faith has this weird thing where they basically consider it okay to lie as long as you're not hurting somebody else. But
Muslims have the same thing. They can lie and befriend
right,
whoever
exactly.
they need to
Yeah.
to
Further themselves
yeah.
with whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jewish faith has that same thing. So maybe it's just something that they have in common.
That's true.
Um,
They have common ground.
yeah. Yay! Let's come.
Yeah, we're getting closer to no, they're never gonna be peaceful with each other.
No, but that's just it's crazy because they're like, oh yeah, just an outright lie, and then they
Yeah.
still attack.
Oh, we're not gonna retaliate until after Passover. Boom. Next day.
They're only retaliating because, dude, I am fully convinced all of the shit that's going on over there
Is the heifer.
is this red heifer sacrifice.
Yeah, because they're supposedly gonna do that like either during Passover or by the end of it, which is what, this week, next week.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. We'll see.
But
We'll see what happens.
It just makes sense because the situations line up where they brought the red heifers over from Texas because they came from a farmer in Texas. There was
And
4 or 5.
they've been there for a while, like I think a couple years.
No, they brought them over, and then when they brought them over, they were attacked. In that
Within the same like time frame.
yeah,
I
same
thought
time frame.
they got the heifers like in 2019 or something like that.
Not from what I was reading.
Okay.
It was like October. I don't remember. It was the same time.
Look at
around
him.
the same time, but that's funny. But yeah, I just think it's all over.
I think it
that.
is too, or at least something along those lines.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past him, really. It's a big deal for both sides, really.
For both of them.
Yeah. I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess I don't. When's Passover? It's this week, isn't it? This coming week. I don't know.
23rd.
It's like it's a what is it? It's a couple days, isn't it? Like a week or something.
23rd to the 29th, right?
Something like that. Yeah. I gotta take a picture of this dog.
Puppy. Oh, I shouldn't say. Oh, it's the 22nd through the 30th. Sounds close.
Okay. The 30th.
Yeah, 22nd to the 30th.
Well, I guess if they're gonna do it, it's gonna happen in that time. You think they're going to?
I think they're going to.
Hmm.
I
Well-
think they have full.
If they do, I'm sure we'll end up talking about it.
Yeah, dude. I honestly, I don't know if we'll actually know about it.
I don't think we will either. I think it's gonna happen.
I think they're just gonna do it
Yeah.
and then not even say anything.
I think you're right.
I don't think we'll ever even know about it.
No, not until they start doing whatever they're gonna do after.
Not until they start ripping down the Dome
Yeah.
of the Rock, and then
Yeah.
they're gonna be like, oh,
Oh, they did their thing.
and then that's dude. If they start tearing down the Dome of the Rock, it's all out war. In that area, it's gonna be all out war.
Yeah, it will be. I'm curious to see, like, because I don't remember, there's some country or organization or something that wants to put out arrest warrants on Netanyahu
Mm.
because of the Iranian attack the other day, or the attack in Iran the other day, and or Syria and Baghdad.
Interesting.
Let's see what happens if he does get arrested.
Netanyahu.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Would their operations continue? Would they do the sacrifice? Is he in charge of any of that?
Well, I seen somewhere that Netanyahu was promised the seat at the Third Temple. I read that.
Yeah,
somewhere, and
yeah.
I don't know.
It
fucking
was
where
in
I
that
read it.
video that I sent you.
Oh, well, okay. It was in that
Yeah,
video.
it was in that video. He
where
talked about, yeah.
he was promised the seat.
He was promised, and then he got the seat, and then he resigned or was fired, or
Right. And then he
got
again.
reinstated again.
Yeah. But supposedly he is the one that's promised to the seat in the Third Temple,
Yes.
which would make him the Antichrist.
Yes. I believe so.
I mean, that's who the
That makes sense, yeah.
That's what the Antichrist is the Antichrist that takes the seat in the Third Temple, and then he is the one that's basically in charge of the. Yeah.
I remember in 2008, I was actually still in high school. I remember in 2008 when Obama was running for president, and like everybody was calling him the Antichrist. I didn't really understand because I wasn't raised Christian, and
Right.
it was something I never knew anything about, and it didn't make sense to me. I was like, how? Why? I don't get it. Now I've learned a lot of things about that family and the way all that works, and I could see why people thought that way.
Yeah. Yeah, especially the fact afterwards when he played the or not, he didn't play. He went to some birthday dressed up as Satan.
I remember hearing something about that. Didn't Trudeau do the same thing?
Probably.
I think Trudeau dressed up as Satan once. He also put on blackface before.
He definitely put on blackface.
Trudeau's a piece of garbage.
So did Obama.
So did Obama. Well, I think that's probably gonna do it. I'm fucking hungry.
I'm starving too. So Adoba?
Yeah, boba and Qdoba,
Or Adoba?
same thing.
Qdoba?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down. And you can get extra boba, right? Like where they fill up more of the tapioca.
Yeah, if you want to bind up your stomach. Oh, speaking of which, did I ever tell you about that?
My stomach is solid as a rock.
Somebody, I don't remember where it was. It was in the U.S. Some girl she got a lot of boba, I think.
Oh yeah.
Was getting too much of it, maybe. I don't know. But it, like, turned into a giant blob in her stomach.
Really?
Yeah. And she had to, like, have it all surgically removed.
Tapioca does that?
It
I mean,
can. It
it's-
can if you eat too much of it, and
It's
your
a-
body's not processing
It's
it.
a
and-
fiber and it turns into a gel.
Yeah.
Um
I've made it before. I have. Or
yeah, we've
you had it, yeah. Well, we've had
That was
like
the first
instant
time I've
ones,
ever
yeah.
had it.
Yeah, I like that shit. It's literally you take tapioca flour, you mix it with water, and you make a dough, and then you boil it until it's like a gelatinous orb,
Right, a gelatinous orb.
and you drink it through a straw, and you chew it, and
It's pretty good. Yeah, I like it.
I like it. It's good.
But yeah, it is a fiber.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a fiber, and it's kind of like the same thing with like konjac root.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
So when you take like a konjac root supplement
Okay.
to make it so it suppresses your hunger, it'll actually it turns into a gel
Okay.
and it fills up your stomach basically.
Huh.
Except for your body can digest it.
Fuck that.
But I imagine if you were to take it too much of it, you'd probably run into big issues.
Getting bound up.
Yeah, getting bound up. So I could see that.
I can see it as well.
But
Yeah. Well, that's
let's go
gonna
get
do it.
food.
That was fun. We pretty much stuck within our. We're consistent. Consistently, like 2.5 hours is about. What
That's
we
pretty crazy. Yeah.
usually
We-
naturally just run about 2.5 hours.
That's probably all I can talk about this shit.
Yeah. Same.
Like, yeah, 2.5 hours, man. I'm fucking done.
About ready to go light myself on fire. Just too much. It's too much
Yeah.
for me.
Just let it burn.
All jokes aside.
Fire. Fire.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
right.
Take it easy. Do all the things like subscribe, hit the bell, do all that stuff, or don't. Whatever.
Do all that stuff. You can hit
Yeah.
the thumbs
Share
down
it.
if you want.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Tell us to go fuck herself. I don't care.
Yeah, that's fine. Anything helps.
Anything helps. Send me money.
Or don't.
I need more money.
Or take it. That's fine.
Yeah,
too.
take it. Give it to Ukraine. They need it more.
Right.
Give it to. I don't know. Give it to migrants. They need it more.
They need it more.
They need it more
Yeah.
than anybody. Give
Yeah.
it to them. Give it all to them.
Yeah. Just give them a bunch of free stuff. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Have a good weekend.
All right, take it easy, everybody.
See ya.
Peace.
Bye.